Hello, collective. I got some downloads from Spirit, and it was essential that that I deliver them because that's my North Star right now, because things have been crazy, and so I just want to connect to my light workers. So I'll tell you the messages that I got, and then I'm going to try to make sense of it. I heard the Hulk. The future is behind us. At first I heard blinded by the light, but it eventually brought me to Brave New World, and Like Water for Chocolate, which is a film. I never read Brave New World, and I think I've seen Like Water for Chocolate, but I don't remember it, so I look up these things, okay, and then I put it all together. So there is a theme. Hold on, let me take a sip of my water. I'm very thirsty. Make sure you're drinking your water. All right. So there's something about 30 years, okay, and a loop. And maybe when I pull cards after this, I'll make more sense out of it. But there's something about a 30-year cycle and a loop. The Hulk, I know who the Hulk is, but I looked up a little bit more about it. It's something about creating something and then tearing it down, or weaponizing a transformation. Something about your greatest strength being your greatest weakness, or your biggest weakness. Creating something to destroy it is the theme. And what I remember, and I think that's significant because I'm the person who's interpreting this message, what I remember from the Hulk as a child, because I did watch that show, was just feeling very sad. I felt bad for the Hulk. I felt like the way I saw it, he was helping, but people were scared of him, right? I don't know if it was his green skin or the transformation, but it was something about he was exposed to something beyond his control, right? And I think he was trying to do something in service too, right? When he was exposed. And it increased his, we call it powers, right? And he was often doing good, but people were scared of him. So something happened to him that was out of his control. And then he transformed that and did good things with this transformation, and then they were scared of him for that. And I think there was something like sad about that to me. I was like, well, how can this guy win? Also, that was 1962 that came out. Brave New World. I don't know if it's FDR exactly that it's a metaphor for a dystopian society. But look, I read a summary, okay? But FDR is another thing. So that's significant to this, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, because I keep listening to the Annie soundtrack. And there's something with that. So I know that was the takeaway is FDR. So then I went straight to the New Deal, all right? Because I do remember that. But it's not about the the political or economic policies, although Social Security was something that I thought, ooh, Social Security, what is it? But I could have gone down a rabbit hole for days with that one. So what I really felt was something about it being new, novel, and a deal. And my experience with a deal, right, is that, shake hands and, everybody walks away with something and everybody has to compromise on something. That's a good deal. In terms of what, FDR did in his presidency, we could debate that for days. And that's the point. It's like, we could debate that for days, but should we? I'm sorry, I just got a notification. Okay, confirmation. He did some great things. He did some not so great things. And I've been getting these spirit messages about pyramids, which is nothing new for me, but it's different. This is it's in a different context. This is something I was, chatting with spirit about and sort of drawing. And it's something about, a pyramid and it being misinterpreted. Okay. The significance of a pyramid spirituality is one thing, but a pyramid is holding most of its mass, right? So most of what is supporting, or the structure of, the very, very tippy top, where one would argue is the most sacred, or in a pyramid at the very top, right? So there's all sorts of associations with that. The crown, right? So we could be talking about the crown chakra, or divinity, or royalty, right? Or, the very top of the pyramid is being held by all the rest of this mass at the bottom. And with the New Deal, just stay with me, because again, hopefully the cards will help me with this. So with the New Deal, there were a lot of novel and I guess it's arguable, but I think that it was a lot of very idealistic and ambitious programs and what's the word I'm looking for? Concepts, theories of ways in which we could get out of the depression, right? So that was like thinking about the bottom of the pyramid. Like, how do we, get out of this together, right? But ultimately, maybe some of the criticisms would be, you stayed too long, or too much at once, right? Or overcompensating, maybe, how are we going to pay for this, right? That type of thing. So there's something about that pyramid being inverted, right? That really scares people. But only if you look at it the way you've always looked at it, right? Because again, with the sum of the parts, the entire pyramid is necessary, okay, for the point to be there. It can't just be floating in the air. It's got to have everything together, right? So without the spiritual associations, or even the historical associations that we have with the pyramid, right? Maybe I'll just do this. We'll just do this together. I'm trying to remove all of the associations that people make because it's not the message. Yeah, so this up here, whatever you want to call it, this is the place to be, right? This is a power position, but it can't exist without all of this, right? So it's all important. And then here, right? So this is about, in terms of the New Deal, this is about somebody having the authority to think about the whole pyramid, but maybe overshooting a bit, right? And then the criticism of that, many years later might be that now there's too much of this and not enough of this. And another way of looking at that is we've made all of these promises from our point of view up here. But now it's like, how do we deliver on these promises? Because these people are like holding us accountable, right? And it's almost like the Hulk. It's like we want the Hulk to do the things that none of us can do. But then when they do them, we fear them. And we want to tear them down. It's like an overcompensation. It's like, I'm not saying that the top or the bottom is right. You see what I'm saying? It's just how you look at it. It's your perspective. And then the future is behind us. So something about 1962, 1932, so the Hulk, and I guess when FDR became president, 30 years. So I don't know. That would take forever for me to analyze, but maybe somebody else will get something from this, because that's what this is about. Turning away from faith for comfort. Okay, so that's a message that I got from Spirit in terms of this Brave New Deal. Something about forgetting about the magic of life, or thinking that you must decide between inspiration and faith or comfort and conformity. Again, like, you know, no, why can't these things exist at the same time? Is the message that, I mean, you know, I can't make heads or tails right now, but maybe I'll do another reading another day and like look into this more. But I really felt like it was important that I get it out while it's fresh, because before I put my own spin on it, because I've found that a lot of times I'll do a channeling, you know, and a reading, and then, you know, a few weeks later I'll go back and I'll reflect on it and I'll think, oh my goodness, that was like a metaphor that I didn't even realize, right? So another thing I heard was like water for chocolate, and this is the one I really liked because I understood that one. I don't really remember the movie, but I read a summary, and it's about a whole bunch of things, again, that are not important to the message. The takeaway for me was tempering chocolate, something about getting it just right and the patience that it requires for that. To temper chocolate, I was taught how to temper chocolate. Cece, be careful with the tabling method, which is a method where you heat up chocolate and then you bring it down to a stainless steel table. You drop it down to a certain temperature and then you rise the temperature again, not as high as the initial temperature. And what that does is it does something to the solids and the non-solids or the liquids in the chocolate, so that it maintains its what's the word? Its texture and its temperature when it is sitting out, right, at room temperature. This is the difference between buying a beautiful truffle that you can hold in your hand, put in a box, and it not melting, and it also being smooth when you eat it, or like throwing a bunch of what are they called, chocolate chips, whatever, melting them in the microwave and then covering strawberries or something with those, and then when you pick those up, the chocolate's going to melt and it's not going to have that shiny luster to it, and it's not going to stand up as well, right, in different temperatures. So there's a quick way and there is a precise way, and the precise way is honoring the chocolate, and the quick way, not judgment or anything, it's not going to keep the chocolate in the form that it was meant to be in. You've tampered with the chocolate, right? And it's going to reflect that because it wasn't done correctly. And the inspiration from that, again, this is from Spirit, was something about intervals, And it made me think about interval training or muscle memory. And I mean, I kind of remember what it is. I think it's like, you might run and then you stop. It's something about the heart rate, right? Again, going up, going down to get a better result in less time. And so there's something about a cycle here where we, each of us individually, in our own ways, but collectively, we must change something in this cycle. Something foundational in order to achieve our own personal greatness. And like all other messages, it's about not, as hard as it is, not surrendering to fear, even when it's completely rational to be afraid. Because I think that what Spirit is saying is that there's always something to be afraid of. And that we must understand that this is part of the tempering process. And I think understanding, too, and this just came to me now, that there is no part of this pyramid, if we look at it as bricks, there's no part of this pyramid that should be removed. It has to see itself in a different way. It must transform without changing its foundational structure. Every part of the pyramid must value the other parts of the pyramid so that light can hit all parts of the pyramid. All right, so it's a little convoluted, confusing, even for me. So let's see what the cards say. All right, we're at 1743. Ancestors, God, Spirit, my spirit guides, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, please put a circle of protection around my home and me, my children and my cat, and my healed collective, so that we can be safe, keep our ears open and our hearts open to receive this message. Thank you. My cards have not been carding, but then again, my phone's been doing weird things, and I had a little bit of trouble trying to record this at all, which that resistance made me realize it was really important to do this message, so that's what I'm doing. All right. Woman holding a coin. Patience. Strategy. Women holding a coin, 42. Patience, 16. Strategy, 21. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this, guys. So my phone filled up with storage. Yeah, this message has been hard to get out. Okay. So I pulled woman holding a coin, This is always my lust card, by the way. But it doesn't have to mean that for you. What's really interesting is she's wearing purple. And I also pulled this fourth chakra Archangel Raphael card, heart, green, Hulk is green. This is really, it is tying, everything's tying together for me, and I'm going to try to articulate that. I also pulled, I don't totally know how to pronounce this guy's name, but he's one of my archangels, Camuel, solar plexus, all right? So energy, inspiration, right? Tying into the New Deal, like I want to fix stuff. I know that there's things that I've got to get out of this depression, right? And the heart. So it's like, here I am, you know, I'm here to change things, right? To make things better. But here we see this lust card coming up again. And then patience and strategy. Patience and strategy. So let's just pull some more cards and see what we got here. And the setup is not ideal, but like I said, it's been so hard to get a message out, to get enough peace to get a message out, that I'm not going to worry about all of those things at all. All right, I'm being called to use this deck. Something about the middle, something about the middle. Like the message is getting lost in the middle. It's like we need to open the top so that the light can get in. Right? Because otherwise the light doesn't get into the whole pyramid. So it's like the structure, right? The structure of the pyramid, which is so essential to the wish I had the correct terms for this, but you know, the point at the top for the crown, which is, well, spiritually speaking, it's like our connection to spirit, how we access spirit. But it won't be there unless the foundation is solid. All right, let's see what we got here. Ace of Cups on the back of the deck. Is this recording? 333 on the timer. So 30, I got a 30 message and now 333. Okay, so Ace of Cups came out again. That's significant. Love from Divine. Four of Wands. A celebration, a home, something sacred. Three of Pentacles, something, a collaboration, something that has been nurtured, something that has an eagle, oversight, love. This is about God, our divine, our spirits, our ancestors, offering love, because love is the thing that expands. Love is infinite. The value currently is in this Four of Wands, which is wonderful for now, but it's just now. It's not the past, it's not the future, it's not infinite. It's faulty, unless this is with it. And then, again, with the pyramid, this collaboration. Let's see what else we pull. Okay. The Lovers. The Five of Pentacles. And the Hermit. What strikes me about this, the number 6, so now we're talking 3, 6, 3, 6, 5. Three, 5. So what I see here is that we're going from the Three of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles, which is an increase. But really, this is like the promise, right? The New Deal, the hope. And then come to find that it's really Five of Pentacles. There's something about scarcity, or again, like the light not getting to the whole pyramid. In between those two cards is the Lovers. A decision, a connection, a loop. And then the Hermit. So I know that Spirit is saying, like, what is the wisdom? What is the wisdom that was learned from something having to do with the situation? And you can always skip ahead if you just want to get to my final analysis here, because I do really want to take my time and do this with you guys. But I need to clarify these cards, and I'm not going to rush. Okay. Four of Pentacles. Control. Holding on. Yeah, holding on to that Ace of Cups, which is from the Divine. Those cards are in opposition to me. Oh, okay. Eight of Wands, fast. This is about fast communication underneath this Four of Wands. But I just want to show you guys something. Oh, Ten of Pentacles. Underneath the Three of Pentacles. This is what it looks like to me. This is how I do this. This is clarifying this. So this project, or this collaboration, the sacred collaboration of three, is motivated by the Ten of Pentacles. So wealth, or a great fortune. This card fell on the floor, but I'm going to use it because Spirit said I should. But typically I don't, but right now it seems... So this is the Sun in reverse. I usually don't pull reversals. It's pretty rare. The Sun in reverse is underneath the Lovers. And I'll show you guys at the end what this looks like. So this is either about something in terms of the collective that is a decision, a choice, or it could literally mean a relationship. And the Sun in reverse, it's like darkness, or it's almost like in opposition. It's like this is not a good relationship. Did anything else fall out? Hold Hold on, let me just check something. Just want to make sure nothing went on the floor. All right, let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, I just want to show you what's going on here. But you can't see. So we've got the cup, the Ace of Cups, controlling that. I see this as love from divine. And then we've got somebody gripping onto these pentacles. We have this celebration or home and lots of talk, communication, fast movement, maybe impulsive. Then we have a collaboration for this Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the Lovers with the Sun in reverse. So we have 2 cards to clarify here. And I might ask for additionals. And we have the Scarcity card, the Five of Pentacles, and then the Wisdom, which is, which is the Hermit. So we're going to clarify those 2. Temperance. Oh. So this is my angel card for me. This is like my divine intervention card, but it's really just about balancing or alchemizing, taking a situation and co-creating with your God or whoever you see as higher source. And it's like, in terms of, it makes me think of Jesus, right? Turning the water into wine, or I forget what the other thing he did. But you guys know what I mean. It's about magic. It's about creating more, right? Some would say, right, that Jesus was could very, very much sit at the top of the pyramid. But he was very, very concerned with the whole pyramid. All right, let's pull another card to go underneath Wisdom, underneath the Hermit. I'm just noticing for the first time that his little light in his lantern here is a star. He has seen, I'm noticing there's a skull in the left corner. It's like he's faced death and he knows something, right? But he's not being pushy about it. Also, the number 9 could be significant. Another 3, 6, 9. And the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? It's like the Hermit is the wise one. You know, you always think of the Hermit as somebody who has wisdom, right? So it must mean that they're older. Right? Just like the pyramid, there's a juxtaposition here. 1 second, love. Yeah, go ahead. And then underneath it is the Page of Pentacles, which is like a young card or a youthful card. And it's like a small gift or something. It's almost as if the page has something valuable. And they don't even know what they have, right? It's reminding me of the little star that is in the lantern. Which is so interesting because I don't know, one of the messages that I got from Spirit. Guys, 1 second. Back. We're gonna get this out one way or another, even if I have to come back and clarify. All right, let's see here. Transformation, death. It's like when the student becomes the teacher. That's what just came to me. All right, so what's the lesson? I don't know. I am trying to get some clarity myself. And we're just gonna do it together. What I do know is that things aren't what they seem. And that I just heard no risk, no reward. King of Swords, clarity, a leader. This is my judge card as well. Okay, let's pull a couple more cards. Transformation from the Page to the Hermit. A leader. Decisive. Very decisive. Discerning. Woo! I rebuke any lower density vibrational energies in this space. Ace of Swords. It's like man and the divine co-creating here. It's like somebody opened the top of the pyramid and got the truth. The pyramid representing the earth. I rebuke any lower density or vibrational entities in my space. All right. Well, I see these cards a lot. There's a King of Wands. All right, for the record, that is the third time that we got interrupted and the cards are falling. So there's some crazy energies about. All right, and I don't know where it cut off because I was too busy talking. So what I was saying is that, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself because I don't know where it cut off because I'm getting through this message. Decisive, logical, but also working with divinity. This is a leader. It's typically my court card, but it could be anybody in a position of authority who has the burden of having to make decisions that, everyone's not going to be happy at the end of the day. That is a burden. And I'm sure FDR could relate to that as well. I'm not saying that I'm a fan or not of FDR. I'm just saying that anybody who puts themselves in a space where they are going to lead others is opening themselves for criticism and ridicule. And regardless of the decisions that they make, it takes a certain amount of courage to do that. So if you combine that courage with the divinity of what our higher selves or whatever God that you believe in, or whatever thing that you believe in. Well, I guess I'm only speaking to the people that believe in something higher and bigger than themselves. So I won't sugarcoat that. So this is somebody who's working with a higher power, who has the clarity. Doesn't mean it's easy, but they have the clarity. Then we also pulled this king, right? King. Yeah, we've moved away from kings. Male or female, this is another force that this is self-interest at the end of the day. Then I pulled the Eight of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and the Page of Swords. Yeah, it's like there doesn't have to be a sacrifice if we're all realistic. But this is the truth. And it's like there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into the truth, which is important to some people. But it's heartbreaking. It's a blow. There's no winners in the truth sometimes. But it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be. And again, Page of Swords. It's like, why is it that after the heartbreak, the message shrinks down to a page? It's like maybe what Spirit is trying to tell us collectively is that the truth hurts. Oh, my cat is coughing. Give me 1 second, guys. We're going to get through this reading one way or another. I cannot express how hard it has been to get this message out. It's really, the energy is very thick. And so here's what I put to, right? Okay, so the King of Wands, the Page of Swords, this is how I'm reading it. They're wearing the same, it's like they're on the same team, right? It's like, I'm seeing this here as like, yeah, this is part of the truth. And it serves some sort of goal, an end, right? But it doesn't come close to this. It doesn't come close to divine working through people here on earth. That is the truth here. And yeah, for people in the spiritual community who really understand the meaning behind a lot of the things that we say that aren't necessarily meant to be taken literally, they're representations of truths in our everyday life, just like the Bible, Quran, the Torah. These are just examples, okay? The Constitution. But the Constitution is different, right? Because the Constitution is about rule of law. It's not really meant to be a metaphor. It's meant to be like a real thing. So let's take that out of here. But in terms of religious books, these are archetypes and stories that were preserved through time to help future generations to not repeat the same mistakes that their ancestors made before them. All right, so this you can't make it up. What is it, 6 times now? All right. Point is that the solar plexus and the heart, all of the chakras, really. I'm telling you can't make this stuff up. So yes, like I was saying, I'm going to put an email in the more section. So you could email me if you have any thoughts. I have had some trouble with my email and like getting my emails, getting messages, still trying to get to the bottom of that. So if you cannot reach me through email, meaning I don't get back to you, then you can always put a comment underneath this video and hopefully that will appear for me, which would be great because I love you guys so much. All of you in the collective. I really draw on you guys for inspiration, and we're all doing the same good work here. And hopefully I'll be back soon, all right, with another reading. And take care of yourselves. Bye.